welcome back to the 2019 Spring Marble Race Cup. On your screen right now are the current placements of the marbles after the first two races. Mint is currently in the lead, whilst Blossom is in last. Let's see what happens in race number 3. And now begins Conveyor Chaos, not to be confused with Conveyor Clash from the previous Fantastic Marble Race Cup. But Conveyor nonetheless. Chocolate, Lavender, and Blossom first 3 to get through that first spinner section. Not really part of the main leg, but you must get through it nonetheless. Every marble has gotten through it now. And the goal of this race is to get down that conveyor in the bottom, get pushed up onto the square conveyor, get lifted up by that ladder-esque conveyor, and then go along the top of those moving conveyors and touch that yellow circle in the top right corner to get into the finish line. Lavender seems to be in first place, but they're having a little bit of trouble getting into the ladder. That ladder does cause a little bit of issue to some marbles. Rosebud, the marble who got last place in the previous race, but first place in the first race, now launching up onto the conveyor section. Will they fall down? No, they will place first in just over 1 minute. They're a real wild card, getting such varying placements in these races. Marigold now on top of the conveyors. Will they be able to make it, or will they get knocked down? They do get knocked down. Meanwhile, Lavender still struggling to get onto that ladder. It is slightly easier with help from another marble, but Lavender does it by themselves, and immediately gets over the top to the last conveyor. And they finish in 1:27.66. Now, Raindrop gets blasted up via one of those blue bouncy squares, but is not able to make the best of it. Blossom falls down after getting to the top. Spring flies all the way back to the left of that rounding conveyor on the very bottom. If you fall down back into the chute, there's actually no way to get back out. It's just meant to be an entry chute. It's actually quite difficult to get into there from the conveyor. So hopefully that does not happen. Raindrop now at the bottom of the conveyor ladder. They do get through. After bouncing up, will they be able to finish? But no, Chocolate won't. Neither will Raindrop, and neither will Blossom, who also gets up but fails immediately. Marigold and Spring now on the ladder. Spring bounces back. Not a good thing. Now, Blossom comes up, gets pushed back. Marigold now on the top on those conveyors. Will they be able to make it? They fall back down. It's like so many other marbles before. Marbles all clumped on that conveyor belt, other than Chocolate, who seems to be struggling on the bottom. Those blue squares seem to be posing an issue for several marbles, but Blossom does bounce over them and immediately gets into the ladder, flying across the top, bouncing only on the moving conveyors once and finishing the leg in 2:50. Raindrop dangerously close to that pit of doom, if you will, as Mint finishes. Raindrop is safe from DNFing for now. Hopefully they don't repeat that. All marbles are on the square conveyor belts. Marigold struggling to get into the ladder. Will they be able to? They do not. They do bounce rather high, knocking both Chocolate and Raindrop back down. A strategy maybe a little underhanded, but rather effective in this case. Spring now underneath the ladder. As Chocolate comes bounding back, Marigold pushes them back, and Marigold bounces quite high. Chocolate is able to get past the ladder before Spring and Marigold, bouncing across the top. Will they be able to make it? Marigold falls down as Chocolate finishes in 3:47. Now Spring fails immediately. Will they be able to finish anytime soon? Now they get back to the bottom of the ladder. Will they be able to get up quickly? They do. Will they be able to make the most out of this? They can still get 6th place. Not great, but not terrible either. They're making their way along the top. They get knocked back on the last conveyor and fall back down, getting mashed between those conveyors. Not good. And now here's Marigold going over the top, getting to the last conveyor. flirting with that circle, almost falling off the edge, and they do make it. 601 for Marigold. Now, Raindrop is at the end of the square conveyor belt, and Spring is struggling on the round one, bouncing over the tops, not doing very great. They bound over to the left, into the ladder, and over the top of the conveyor belts. It looks pretty good so far. They make it to the last conveyor belt. Will they be able to finish? They do in 6:29.31, and that leaves only Spring left. Now the rules do dictate that any time over 10 minutes is considered a DNF, and it looks like Spring will be the first marble to fall victim to this. Now if you look at the overall leaderboard, we can see that Rosebud is now back into the lead, with Mint now in second. Spring is now in last after their DNF, and Blossom is rose up to 7th. Rosebud and Lavender both rose 3 spots, whilst Chocolate and Raindrop both dropped down 2. You can see in the average position that all the marbles have decreasing average position as they go down the leaderboard, except for Rosebud. This is because, unlike all the other placements, getting first or second will get you 2 more points than the rank below it. That means getting first and 7th is better than getting 3rd and 5th, even though their averages are the same. Either way, though, you can see that Rosebud is still the most wild marble, getting first, then last, then first, having the highest standard deviation, and Marigold has the lowest standard deviation, meaning they are the most consistent. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. I will see you next time.